Romshinators, thank you so much for joining me once again here on Romshii Radio. I really appreciate it. Let's do it. The call of the Romshinators. Here we go. I know I've been gone for a while. I know I have a brand new haircut. I know I have a new shirt. And I know I have some beautiful new chest hands to show you on camera because I finally reached maturity. Yes, Romshinators. It's time to talk about flock cameras. Now, we live in a world completely surrounded by surveillance already, for the record, and many of us fear the day when our actions will be monitored and registered in some sort of social credit system that will decide how much universal basic income we get and decide what roads we're allowed to drive on and what rooms we're allowed to enter. But the fact of the matter is, we self-impose a social credit system on each other through the use of social media. You know how we do it. It's a power grid system set up for the sheep to keep themselves in line already. That being said, that doesn't mean we have to lay down and let flock cameras fly in like evil magpies into our towns, into our cities to make the situation worse. I'm just saying we already live in a world completely filled with cameras. We each have a camera on our phone. We go into a store, we're on camera. Soon, and like in my last video, they got 13 views. Soon the AirPods are going to have cameras. And everywhere you go, if somebody's wearing AirPods, they're going to be able to see you and see what you're doing. Being fed into an AI with a sensor on it that's going to read your brainwaves. And now there's going to be flock cameras at every corner. It's insane. It would make Orwell blush. It would make Huxley cream. This is a article from Mother Jones here. It says, police keep losing their jobs for using flock cameras to stalk people. And it would be a lot of power, guys. And police are people who generally seek power, which is the person who seeks power is often the last person you want to have power. You know, that's kind of the way I look at it. And this is an insane power to give to anybody. Access to cameras all throughout the city, available at any time, 24/7 for stalking anyone. That is an insane amount of power to give to anybody, let alone some police officer somewhere. Come on, like it's ridiculous. Flock cameras, solar-powered automated license plate readers weighing less than 3 pounds and designed to be unobtrusive can be found on 80,000 street corners throughout the country. I assume they're talking about America here. The company behind the cameras built an $8.3 billion business empowering officers to track people's movements nationwide. Flock cameras log billions of license plates each month, and now dozens of reports are emerging of police using the cameras not to solve crimes, which is their job, what they're getting paid good money to do, but to stalk their partners and exes. Wow, this is great. Who could have seen this coming? Police abusing their power. Maybe we should give them even more power. They're doing so good with the powers they already have. Well, let's just give them an omniscient eye into the lives of every human being on Earth. That's what I want. Over a 2-month period in 2025, Milwaukee police officer Josu Ayala, I'm not trying to be funny, not pronouncing this guy's name. I don't know how to say it. Josu searched the license plate number of someone he was dating over 200 times. According to court documents, he also searched for his partner's ex. I mean, this is a ton of power to give over to a police officer. This is a ton of power to give over to anybody. I doubt that any person sat in a room with access to that type of surveillance wouldn't make some sort of weird search, but to do it 200 times in what, a 2-month period? 100 times a month? How many times is that a day? That's ridiculous. Multiple times a day. Keeping track, keeping tabs. He's supposed to be saving kittens from trees, allegedly. I don't know what cops are really paid to do. He's supposed to be kind of extracting money for the state from various parking tickets. I mean, I assume that's why they're tracking license plates. They're trying to get people speeding, hitting them with tickets, keeping our roads safe, and extracting money for the state, all with a gun in your hand. Another Milwaukee officer, Tarangi Chapman, was assigned to investigate his case. Ayala was charged with misconduct, resigned, and was sentenced to 1 year's probation. So wait, he resigned and was sentenced to 1 year's probation. I guess that means he left the job. Is that probation like real probation? Or is that probation is that he's going to be a cop again? He's probably going to be a cop again. I mean, usually when a cop kills somebody, they get like a 2-week vacation. So spying on people, I'm sure he will be on the streets again with his firearm before you know it. You know, stalking people, locking people up, shooting his little gun, walking around, stomping around on his boots, driving around in his car with his laptop. Then this week, Chapman Chu was charged with misuse of GPS information. So even the person investigating these problems is now doing it themselves. While investigating Ayala, he allegedly engaged in the exact same misconduct, using the technology to track people in his own life. There you go. The Institute for Justice, a libertarian public interest law firm, identified at least 24 similar cases nationwide of officers using automated license plates readers, cameras like Flock, to stalk romantic interests over the past 2 years. Nearly all of those officers were criminally charged and lost their jobs. I find it weird that this is taken more seriously than when they just straight up kill people. These guys are getting charged and fired. Don't mess around with the surveillance state. People need to trust that. That's what they're saying. Hey, man, we need the public to really trust these Flock cameras. 6 years ago, Mother Jones Daniel Motar detailed how some of California's most populous counties were collecting information using ALPRs, mostly tracking people who weren't even under suspicion of any crime. Police state, that's what it is. Basically, the definition of a police state. George Orwell's knocking. I'm starting to break this, by the way. I know I've had some comments to say I'm hitting this thing too much. I am starting to break it. It does have one light that flashes all the time now from me just hitting it. Because I'm not a producer making beats in my bedroom. I'm a passionate talking head who probably has sweat stains now, just from this video. This is the first time I've ever worn this shirt. It's probably ruined. It's probably ruined at this point. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. The last one got 15 views. This one, we're going to reach for a solid 20. And hopefully the shirt survives, okay? And anyways, police state happening, no big deal. You're going to be watched even if you're not committing a crime, okay? And in 2013, the ACLU said that just 47 of every million plates scanned by Maryland's ALPRs that year were even tentatively associated with an actual crime. 47 of every one. Hold on. Let's read this again. 47 of every million plates scanned were even tentatively associated with actual serious crimes. 47 compared to, so that's basically saying a million out of a million are not. I mean, that is such a small fraction of a percent. They gotta be joking. Mankind has invented powers far beyond his capabilities of handling. I mean, that's like truly a violation of nature's law. I mean, we could hardly handle fire and sticks. Jesus. Like, do you know what I mean? The wheel. Perhaps we should have stopped at the wheel. But in the years since then, police's use of ALPRs has increased across the country. The cameras have been used to go after immigrants without warrants and to track people seeking abortions as they travel across state lines for the procedure. So now they're invading your personal life. That's insane. That's disgusting. Though there are several companies that make ALPRs, Flock is by far the largest, with more than 80,000 cameras spread throughout the United States. Flock Safety CEO Garrett Langley has said he wants his cameras on every corner. Well, isn't that convenient for you? The thing that gives the CEO the most money is what he wants. Wow! I just want more money. These people are just so moralless and hollow and self-serving and self-seeking in a way that is honestly unimaginable to the average person. Like, in their hearts is a spiritual, vacuous black hole that absorbs any goodness, any light, and turns it into self-interest, hatred for your fellow man, and just pure, unmitigated greed. An unfathomable greed that you could not even face if it wasn't hiding behind a smile and a suit, a nice button-up shirt, a nice haircut, like the one I have. Thanks for watching, Romshinators. Please comment down below your top 5 favorite license plates. And thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.